Welcome back to the Pinderverse podcast. Last time we got into Cobra Kai Season 6, Episode 12, Rattled. But this time we're going to keep rattling the bones as we break on into Episode 13, Skeletons. Now, I'm really excited to talk about this one, so if you guys haven't had a chance to watch the episode, make sure you get all caught up. Full disclosure, there's going to be spoilers coming out of the woodwork. Johnny Lawrence might be jumping out of a closet dressed like a skeleton from the 80s. Your guess is as good as mine. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's the difference between a winner and a champion? In order to answer this, I need to quote Christopher Reeve, the guy who played Superman in the classic Superman movies. He once said, "A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles." I love how he didn't define a hero in terms of winning or losing, but defined a hero in terms of an ordinary individual who becomes extraordinary. You could even say that it's the ordinary individual who is extraordinary. Like Robby Keene, it's just about digging deep and unlocking what's inside. In other words, you don't have to be a winner in order to be extraordinary. So really, the larger question is what constitutes greatness? Is winning the highest level of human achievement, or is there something more? When Robby goes toe-to-toe with Axel, he wants to win, but as he also says later, he fought with honor. This is what he really was endeavoring to do. He had the championship mindset, and because he was so on his game, he was able to turn things around in the second round. Axel's on his heels, retreating because Robby is gaining on him. Now, I know I'm not going through everything that leads up to this moment of truth for Robby, but this episode is where it all shakes down. It's like the scene in Lord of the Rings where Gandalf grabs his staff, hits the ground, and says, "Thou shalt not pass," and a giant earthquake happens. So here we are. It's right at the end of round 2. Robby feels like things are turning around for him. He's riding high, but he doesn't know Axel's sensei is telling Axel, pinpoint the leg, fight dirty, take him out at all costs. Basically, it's like, we've got to win no matter what. Axel resists, but he ends up deciding to take Robby down, dealing a blow that Robby can't come back from. It leaves Robby in pain on the mat, and it looks like it might be game over. Robby is carried into the locker room where they assess his injury. It turns out he has a broken leg. But Robby's champion mindset stays the course. As Robby says to Johnny, "I did my best, fought with honor. If that lands me in second place, there's worse places to be." Then his dad, which I think is so cool, says back to him, "You're taking this way better than I ever could." And this is the moment where the teacher becomes the student and the student becomes the teacher, and vice versa. It's like a cycle because the things Johnny taught to Robby learned so well from the wisdom his father passed on. He's seen what his father has gone through. He's been taught by his father. Now Robby is able to not fall into the old patterns and have a new way of being. And his dad hears it back from him and realizes what his son knows, and at the same time recognizes that reality and is able to sort of be the student. But at the same time, Robby is also the student because he learned these things that he's now sort of reaching back to his dad and becoming that master. It goes both ways. So it's really neat to think about that the student and the teacher, student, that really we're all learning from each other in life. And there's these moments of mastery where one person learns something, the other person becomes the master. And it's all about our own inner mastery, our own inner strength. That's where the champion is, not on a pedestal. A lot of times in life, we can see winning as a golden pinnacle with a gold trophy at the top of a pedestal. But that high rung of a ladder, if you end up serving it, becomes your ceiling. And that's what happened with Johnny Lawrence. He really wanted the gold to be him, and when he didn't achieve it, it limited him. It became this glass ceiling that he couldn't see through. Now his son is seeing through that glass ceiling, and Johnny and Robby are able to move past the skeletons, because when you realize the pattern and you look at that skeleton, now it's like you're looking through the glass ceiling. It's the same kind of thing, whether it's buried under the ground, whether it's up in the sky. It's just a metaphor for the idea that we get trapped. When Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, he took one small step that became a giant leap, and he went further than humans had gone before. He wasn't just staying on the earth. We stay thinking, here we are, this is as far as we can go, and we've got to reach. But when we're trying to serve that, now that has become the master. The pedestal has become the master. But really, it's about us being the master of our minds, not our minds being the master of us. And if we're looking at that pedestal as a concept and not realizing that we're serving that concept, now we're serving our mind. Our mind is tricking us. The concept in our mind is tricking us. So that's where it brings it back to that quote by Christopher Reeve, which is, it's about an ordinary individual. He realized all the greatness that we can achieve is within us as human beings. It's not out there somewhere. It's not high on a hill. Even Neil Armstrong walking on the moon, he did it out there, but it happened because of the strength inside the human species and what we are capable of. The ordinary human is capable of so much. Johnny was capable of letting go of skeletons of the past. Robby, able to realize that even with his broken bones, there'd be other hills to climb. And I can't help but thinking of these final words Robby said. Guess instead of focusing on the things I've lost, I want to focus on the things I've won. Karate's given me all the best things in my life. It's given me my friends. It's given me my girlfriend. It's given me my dad. Yeah, I'd say that makes you a winner in anybody's eyes, Johnny said, especially mine. It can sound cliche to say a hero lies in you, so maybe that's why the guy who played Superman said it the way he did. You can make the rules of the game. Win or lose, you choose to change. So focus on the things you've gained and light the flame in you.